Two AI code editors, same idea, a fork of VS Code with a smart agent bolted in. But after building real features in both for weeks, I can tell you the gap between them is bigger than the marketing lets on. One is the crowd favorite that everybody already talks about. The other is quietly cheaper and in one specific way, smoother. So before you install either, let me tell you which one actually deserves your main editor slot. Cursor versus Windsurf. Both are AI-first code editors. Both are built on VS Code, so both feel instantly familiar the second you open them. And that's exactly why picking is confusing. They look like twins. They are not. I ran them side by side on the same real project for weeks, and I'm scoring this in 6 rounds. Autocomplete, the agent that writes across your whole project, how clean the experience is for a normal human, speed, price, and the ecosystem around each one. No hype, no sponsor, just where each one wins and which deserves the money. And a quick heads up, because Windsurf went through a wild year of ownership drama and a lot of people wrote it off, don't. The editor itself kept getting better the whole time, and judging it on the headlines instead of the product is how you miss the better deal. Quick framing because the personalities are different even if the wrappers aren't. Cursor is the popular powerhouse. It's the one your whole timeline uses. It moves fast, it's stuffed with features, and it assumes you want control over everything. Windsurf is the calm operator. It leans harder into a single smooth agent flow. It's a little more opinionated about doing the work for you, and it's cheaper. One hands you a cockpit full of switches, the other hands you an autopilot that mostly just works. Hold that, it explains every round. Round 1. Autocomplete. The suggestion that finishes your line before you do, the thing you feel 1,000 times a day. Both are good. Both predict multiple lines, both jump you around the file. But Cursor still has the edge here, and I tested this a lot. Its tab completion feels a half-second faster and a touch smarter about what I was actually about to write, especially in a big messy file. Windsurf's is genuinely close, closer than it was 6 months ago, but on the pure reflex of autocomplete, Cursor is still the one I trust to read my mind. Round 1, narrowly, Cursor. Round 2, the agent, the part where you describe a feature and it goes and writes it across 5 files. Cursor calls this its agent, Windsurf calls it Cascade, and this is Windsurf's best round. Here's the thing I kept noticing. Windsurf's agent flow is smoother. It does a better job of quietly keeping track of what it already changed, running the next step, and not losing the plot halfway through a big task. I gave both the same job, add a settings page, wire it to the backend, update the nav. Cursor did it, but I babysat it more. More approvals, more reprompting. Windsurf just kept going, and the result needed less cleanup. Cursor's agent is powerful, but Windsurf's felt more like a coworker and less like a tool I was operating. Here's the moment that sold me. Halfway through that task, a test broke, and Windsurf noticed on its own, went back, and fixed the thing it had just written before asking me anything. Cursor can do that too, but it asked first more often, which is safer but slower. If you like handing off a whole task and coming back to a finished draft, Cascade is the better handoff. Round 2, Windsurf. Round 3, the experience for a normal human. How fast does someone sit down and just get productive without reading a manual? This one goes to Windsurf too, and it's about focus. Cursor gives you everything, which is amazing once you know it, and a little overwhelming on day 1. Panels, modes, settings, options on options. Windsurf is more restrained. It nudges you into the one good workflow instead of making you assemble it. I handed both to a developer who'd never used either, and they were comfortable in Windsurf faster, with fewer "what does this button do" moments. Power users may want Cursor's control. Newer users get moving quicker in Windsurf. Round 3, Windsurf. Round 4, speed and stability, because a smart editor that stutters is worse than a dumb one that doesn't. This is close, and honestly, it depends on your machine and your day. Both are VS Code under the hood, so both carry that weight. In my testing, Cursor felt a hair snappier on the raw editor and the autocomplete, while Windsurf occasionally paused a beat longer when its agent was thinking. Neither one fell over, neither one embarrassed itself. But if I'm scoring the pure responsiveness of typing and navigating, Cursor edged it again. Round 4, narrowly, Cursor. Round 5, price. the part that actually decides it for a lot of you. Cursor is $20 a month for Pro, with a heavier tier above it if you're a power user. Windsurf comes in cheaper on its paid plan, usually around $15, and its free tier tends to be more generous with the good stuff. That gap sounds small, $5, but stretch it across a year or a whole team of 10 and it stops being small. If you're a student, indie, or a startup counting every seat, Windsurf gives you most of the same magic for less money. Do the actual math for a second. 10 seats on Cursor at $20 is $200 a month. 10 seats on Windsurf at $15 is $150. That $50 difference every month is a real line item a founder notices, and it buys you almost the same tool. Cursor is worth its $20 if you live in it all day. But on pure dollars, Windsurf wins the round. Round 5, Windsurf. Round 6, the ecosystem, and this is where Cursor pulls back ahead hard. Cursor has the mind share. It has the bigger community, more tutorials, more rules and configs people share, faster support for the newest models the day they drop, and it plugs into MCP and the whole VS Code extension world. When something new happens in AI, Cursor usually supports it first, and there's a forum full of people who already figured it out. Windsurf is not small, and it supports MCP too, but the gravity, the sheer amount of shared knowledge and momentum is on Cursor's side. If you want the tool the whole industry is standardizing on, that's Cursor. Concrete example, when a big new model dropped this year, Cursor had it selectable that same day, and my feed was full of people already sharing the best settings for it. With Windsurf, I waited a little longer and hunted a little harder. When you're moving fast, being first to the new toys and having a crowd who already mapped them out is worth real money. Round 6, Cursor. Now the honest admission, because a scoreboard, this even deserves a real opinion, not a shrug. If you tallied that up, it's 3 rounds each, and that's not me dodging. That's genuinely how close these two are in 2026. But even matches still have a right answer for a specific person, so let me actually commit instead of hiding behind it depends. If you're a power user who lives in your editor all day, who wants the fastest autocomplete, the newest models the hour they launch, and the biggest community to steal configs from, Cursor is your editor. It's the default for a reason, and the reason is real. It's the one I keep as my daily driver, and it's $20 is fair for how much I lean on it. But here's who should genuinely pick Windsurf, and it's more people than the hype admits. If you're newer to this, or you mostly want to describe what you want and let the agent do the heavy lifting, or you're just watching your budget, Windsurf is the smarter install. Its agent is smoother, its experience is calmer, and it costs less to get most of the same result. For a lot of people, that's not the runner-up, that's the better fit. So let me put the board up plainly. Autocomplete, narrowly Cursor. Agent, Windsurf. Everyday experience, Windsurf. Speed, narrowly Cursor. Price, Windsurf. Ecosystem, Cursor. 3-3, which is the most honest scoreboard I've shown on this channel, and anyone telling you one of these obviously crushes the other is selling something. Here's the verdict you can act on. Cursor is the pick if you're a power user who wants the market leader, the best autocomplete, and the biggest ecosystem, and you'll happily pay $20 for it. Windsurf is the pick if you want a smoother agent, a calmer ride, and a smaller bill, and it is genuinely the better starting point for most newer developers. Try Windsurf first if either price or simplicity matters to you. Reach for Cursor if raw power and community do. Match the editor to how you actually work, not to which logo is louder this month. Quick recap, Cursor wins autocomplete, speed, and ecosystem, and it's the default for power users who want the leader. Windsurf wins the agent, the everyday experience, and the price, and it's the smarter pick for newer devs and tighter budgets. Both are free to try, both are built on VS Code, so install both this weekend and let your own workflow break the tie. That test beats every review, including mine. And if this saved you from installing the wrong editor or overpaying for one, subscribe. I run these on real projects, not toy demos, so you get the verdict, not the hype. Next, I take the winner of this fight and put it head-to-head against plain VS Code with the free AI extensions to see if any of these paid editors are even worth it, or if you're paying $20 for something you could get for nothing. That one's going to upset a few people. See you there.